It's probably why he decided to hop off.
And so The Rock, after listening to this, says, this is 100% not true. I mean, to say 100% not true is to act as if nothing he said is true in that statement. And so what exactly is The Rock commenting on? Coach Greg, and look who's back to YouTube, none other than Derek from More Plates, More Dates. And what brought him out of the woodworks? Well, the fact that The Rock has downsized and is now a pebble. And isn't it ironic, as Derek's boulder shoulders, they're looking a lot more like pebbles now after all. Derek has significantly downsized as well. Derek needs to do a breakdown on Derek. Rip boulder shoulders Derek. Perhaps he's going to come out and defend The Rock and say, you know, this is part of aging. When you have all that muscle and you get older, you're going to be significantly downsized. Derek and The Rock, they have so much in common. I mean, with the lies. The fact that Derek was saying he had a Juga Turkistanica when we all know it wasn't. And of course, I have the receipts. He hasn't sued me. We don't know why. I mean, obviously, if I was slandering his name or didn't have proof of what I'm saying to be true, don't you think they would have chimed in and said something, anything? And so let's see what Derek's deflated shoulders have to say about The Rock's deflated physique.
Let's be honest, he's still yoked. It is not as big of a melt as people might be suggesting, because people don't understand what a baggy Hawaiian shirt is, apparently.
And so Derek says he hasn't lost a lot of muscle, he just put on a Hawaiian shirt. And so perhaps it's what's happened to Derek. When he wears a tank top, his shoulders are as wide as a barn door, but now that he's wearing long sleeve shirt, well, his shoulders, they're practically non-existent. And remember, I do believe that Derek is still on HRT. I mean, he does own an HRT clinic. And I mean, I did have leaked message from someone who used to work from him, but I'm not going to show everything that he told me, but he listed out his exact cycle. I mean, imagine that.
And he's like out there promoting a role where he happens to be playing the most jacked character he's ever played, essentially.
And so does that make any sense? Think of it. The Rock's been playing the largest character he's ever had to play. He's had to play a massive smashing machine, Mark Kerr, but yet as soon as the filming is done, he loses a tremendous amount of size. I mean, we all know that The Rock has lied. He said, oh, I was only on perhaps some pro hormones when I was 18 or 19, but, you know, since that time, 100% natural, hardest worker in the room.
This is him at peak. This is what a lot of people know him as. And, you know, to a fault, because this is what people will compare him to.
I mean, look at The Rock here in his 50s. I mean, come on. Like, come on. And suddenly to lose all that muscle and for his face to get thinner. When you take steroids, it often causes the moon face. You have more volume in the face. It causes your head to swell, to get bigger. And so in a matter of months, The Rock has lost a significant amount of size. And you have to assume it's from stopping steroids. And so isn't it ironic that The Rock is the age of Mark Kerr and he's playing a young Mark Kerr, a sauce genetic phenom known for having a tremendous amount of muscle long before they implied rules, regulations about the use of performance-enhancing drugs. And so how is all this possible? Like, really think about it. He's playing a man perhaps 20 years younger than himself and has a physique equal or better than him. You tell me. And so if you look through The Rock's photos in his 30s, you can clearly see that 15 years later into his 50s, he's put on a significant amount of muscle. The guy's been training since he was a teenager. And so how does anyone explain that? Other than Mike O'Hearn, we know of no one who continues to put on muscle having trained as a teenager into their 50s.
So I would imagine he's had some pretty in-depth diagnostics to evaluate that this was, you know, something he could tolerate or had a high likelihood of tolerating well.
What's shocking to me is that The Rock, who's almost a billionaire, he has all the money in the world, but yet he's not doing the diagnostic tests to determine whether or not he's healthy. And so following making this movie where he played Mark Kerr, a juiced up behemoth, he then got some testing done finally, and they revealed that his circumflex artery, that it had some blockage. Now, they tried to cleverly portray that this was something genetic. They tried to tell us that his cholesterol, the fact that his HDL was very low, that was somehow genetic. I mean, how would they even know if it's genetic? I mean, one of the most common side effects of using testosterone is having lower levels of HDL. And so why would he think that to be the case?
Like, there's nothing healthy about what this is. Like, he gained insane amounts of juice muscle for sure at early 50s.
I mean, if anything, his decision to get into the shape of his life in playing Black Adam, followed by his decision to play Mark Kerr, those two back to back, where he would have had to abuse a serious amount of steroids. I mean, he's not a normal sized man. He was always a jacked guy, but he got more jacked than last time. And so perhaps those were the final blows to his physique, and he can no longer ignore it. And so upon seeing the circumflex having that blockage, he had to decide it isn't worth it. I'm going to now pivot. I'm going to play smaller roles in my acting. I'm already nearly a billionaire, and so do I really need all of this money? I mean, what after all is the point of having billions of dollars if you don't have your health or you're not even alive?
This guy is on the top of the charts when it comes to fake naturals. He's right up there with Mike O'Hearn.
The Rock has officially responded to steroid allegations. And do you think he's going to say, you know, it's all true, I admit it? Of course not. He's going to say, this is 100% a lie.
However, the show looks like it's finally coming to an end. He recently found out that he had plaque buildup in his circumflex artery from his decades of gear use, probably why he decided to hop off.
And so The Rock, after listening to this, says, this is 100% not true. I mean, to say 100% not true is to act as if nothing he said is true in that statement. And so what exactly is The Rock commenting on? That he was never on steroids, that he didn't abuse performance-enhancing drugs, or that he hasn't come off the steroids, that he's continuing to abuse them? What exactly is The Rock saying? And why would he bother commenting? Why? And why that particular video? Does The Rock have perhaps people working for him and they decided to make this comment? Because if you're going to comment on that, why not comment on everyone else? Or why not just put out a statement? You know what? None of this is true. I'm going to address the rumors. I'm 100% natural. I haven't taken anything. I haven't downsized. Y'all are just coping. Why not address the rumors? And I do believe that's because they're true.
The clip he's referring to when he says the plaque buildup, it's coming from, I assume, this podcast he did recently with Dr. Mark Hyman.
And so perhaps The Rock is saying, no, it's not plaque buildup. It was there congenitally. It was there from birth. It's a genetic thing. Just like my HDL cholesterol being very low, it's all genetic. I haven't come off steroids. I haven't done anything. Does anyone believe that, though?
And you had said very succinctly, you had said, I'm not going to treat your symptoms. I'm going to go deeper than that, and I'm going to treat the root cause of what's going on.
Rock, who never talks about his blood work or his health or the fact that he's using or not using performance-enhancing drugs or HRT, he suddenly records a video where he's talking about his blood work, the scans, and saying exactly what's going on. But for what reason? And come to find out, well, he's an investor in that company. Don't you think that other millionaires are going to want to get the same service as The Rock to discover what is right, what is wrong with their bodies? And so The Rock does this just to make more money when he already has close to $1 billion? Why would he do this?
I was never a medication guy. Like, I wasn't taking any kind of medications or anything like that. And even now.
I mean, does anyone think that The Rock does not take any medications whatsoever? Really? No statins, no testosterone, nothing for high blood pressure, nothing, because you've always been perfect despite the fact that you're larger than you ever were before in your 50s. Does that make sense?
Well, let's get you on this medication. It's a multi-month medication, and here we go. And I thought, God. And I was so hesitant because I wasn't taking a medication. So then I called you.
I mean, I find it so ironic that he would get a test done and the doctor says, you need to go on this medication immediately. And instead of listening to the doctor, he calls another doctor until he finds someone that says, no, you don't need the medication. Shouldn't you listen to your doctor? I mean, do you not think he's trying to help you? And so you find a way to say, no, you don't actually need medications. You're fine. I mean, if you find enough doctors, eventually someone's just going to tell you what you want to hear.
I said, Doc, listen, here's what I got. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but What do you think?
Because of all this, and seeing as The Rock has lost a significant amount of muscle, do you think that the doctor, the original doctor that said, hey, there's something wrong with you, you need to do something about it, you need these medications, do you think that this doctor was correct? Or do you think the second doctor that says, no, it's okay, Rock, you're invincible, you have the longevity gene, you know, you're going to be around forever. Which is more likely?
Let's get a scan done. Here's the report from our head cardiologist, who's a very good friend of yours, and he said, looks great. It is just an anatomical thing.
It's an anatomical thing. What exactly is that? I mean, it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. They didn't explain it. It's an anatomical thing, you know? You're in your 50s, you abuse steroids, but you don't have to worry. It's an anatomical thing.
You had like the ApoE2, which is a gene that means you kind of live a long time. You know, the people who like smoke and drink and live forever.
Yeah.
You're kind of one of those.
Like, what test did they use to determine it was genetic? Did they go and use his blood work from 40 years ago and say, hey, when you were 13, it was already like that? How would they know it's genetic? And so if you're looking to not downsize, you're looking to get bigger, you can, of course, take Turk Builder Max, Turk Platinum, our #1 selling supplements. And remember, it's from Uzbekistan. It's Ajuga turkistanica. It is 100% authentic. We can verify this. We also have a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card. It's not cyanosis. It's not from China. And remember, we've been vindicated. Turkplex, which when you right-click on the URL and it says turkesterone, and they're claiming, no, we didn't claim turkesterone. They did. I mean, the turkesterone molecule was on the bottle, but if you want actual Ajuga, which is definitely better than creatine, it's far more potent, it's stronger. I can't wait for future studies to come out that will validate and prove that what I'm saying is true. But remember, there's a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card, and so you can try it, and if it doesn't put on as much muscle or add as much strength or give you as much energy as you were hoping, you get your money back. And so you have absolutely nothing to lose. Code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. The cookbooks, the Circle Diet Book, Algo RX, if you're looking for prescribed medications, if you're looking to get your blood work done. Remember, these doctors are giving you prescription pharmaceutical medications, and they're not going to gatekeep. It's very simple process, and it's about half price of Merrick Health. And so if you're interested, you can go code Greg for 10% off, and for HDLT supplements, code Greg 15% off. Check out Momentous Clothing, and until next time, I am out.